Hi everyone, how are you? How are you? I am jumping on. Our weather is appalling and internet is going on and off. So I wanted to make sure that you got your tarot workshop with me this weekend. So I hope you're all well. I'm going to jump straight in while I've still got internet and get on with it. So I hope you're okay. Do type your messages if you wish to and say hi. And I'll answer your questions if you have any. So we have the Seven of Swords continuing through the swords and the minor arcana. And the Seven of Swords in this picture, well, it's a card of changing camp, maybe doing a bit of a U-turn or going in a different direction. Hi Sharma, how are you? Welcome to Tarot Workshop, where I'm teaching about the tarot. It's lovely to have you along today. So it's about going in a different direction. And remember that swords are thoughts. So it's about how we are communicating, or it's very much about how we are thinking. Sharma, this is Tarot Workshop, sweetie. It's not cards, sorry. Friday nights for that. This is to learn about tarot, so no cards. That's not what I'm here for today. So you're welcome to stay, Sharma. Hi. Please do share and like and subscribe. You read later. I don't know what you mean. No, this is Tarot Workshop. I've just explained that, okay? So it's about learning the cards. So sorry about that. Friday nights, okay? Oh, you're staying. Okay, lovely. So how to learn about the Seven of Swords. There's a feeling with the Seven of Swords that there is a need to go in the back door. And sometimes we get an opportunity to just kind of wiggle our way in and kind of do what we've got to do. And sometimes we can see it as being a little bit dishonest. Thank you, Sharma. Fridays at 5 is when I do live readings, so you're welcome to join us then. But Saturdays is our workshop. So there is a feeling sometimes with this card that somebody's doing something that's not quite right, not quite ethical, as it were, and a need to maybe watch your back, because, you're taking a little bit of a chance or a risk in your thinking or in your communication, because again, it's the swords. More people joining us. Thank you so much, Sharma, for sharing. I really, really do appreciate that. Thank you. And so, sorry everybody that I wasn't able to broadcast to Facebook last night and to reconfigure the settings that allow me from Restream to go into all of the Facebook pages and groups that I am linked to. And that had expired with Restream after 18 months. So I didn't know about that, and we just went ahead. So we had lots of people coming in from YouTube and Twitch and LinkedIn and various other platforms like Dailymotion. So anyone from Dailymotion, you're welcome, and lovely to have you along today. So it feels a little bit like this card is about telling sort of fibs or lies even. And maybe actually taking something that doesn't belong to you, or taking from someone else when it's not really yours in the first place. But sometimes that's life, isn't it? You see an opportunity and you have to jump in and go, well, you weren't doing anything, so I'm going to jump in. So it's not always a bad thing, okay? Sometimes it's about being a bit savvy and actually doing what you need to do. It can also be that it is indeed the negative, which is being spiteful or being petty. And it can feel sometimes as if there's a small act of betrayal. Some people see it as in it's a cowardly action. Depends which way you're looking. And if you look at that card there, you can see a man that looks as if he is taking something that maybe doesn't belong to him and leaving two swords behind, gathering them and looking over his shoulder and very nimbly or carefully kind of walking away. And in the distance, if you look in the background there, looks like we've got a scene in the hills there in the background to the left of the tents in the cards, where it looks like there are soldiers or some sort of army that are gathered probably on a bit of a rest or on a watch or doing something, and they're so far away they've not seen this act. So, he's making the most of this opportunity, this fellow that's grabbing the swords and kind of sneaking away. Is it theft? Is he taking back what was his? Is he trying to stop them doing harm? We don't know. Okay? And that's all part of your intuition. It will help you know what it is you are trying to pick up in this card. Now, I always say to you all that I read in pairs, and you know that I use a major and minor card, and that system is revealed to you on my tarot courses. And I'll be letting you know that I've got a brand new website where you can actually connect with that and get access to those courses. This is just a workshop, and a workshop, of course, I'm here to actually share with you as much as I can in our short time together and just give you some key words. But on my online courses, you are able to actually get a proper keyword for tarot, or you can just do the swords, or you can just do the cups, or you can do the court cards. I'm still loading up the court cards and the cups at the moment. The major arcana is on there, I beg your pardon, and so is the swords, of course, because we're doing the swords. It just takes some time getting all the sales pages together. The courses are done, and there is intermediate, which is how to actually use the method that I use, which is a really simple method of being able to put your cards together. And let's get back to the Seven of Swords here, which is again about perseverance, taking your time, ducking and diving. Look where you're going. Don't be clumsy. If you're looking over your shoulder, you might not be looking at where you're going. You might trip, you might fall. And then what would happen with those dreaded swords in your hand? So there's also a feeling that this card is sneaky. And as I say to you, on our workshop together, I give you keywords. I invite you to ask questions. Hi, Tony. Hi, Sharma. Hi, everybody. Thank you for watching. Lovely to have you all coming in here. I've got quite a lot on Facebook today, which is nice. Don't see too many YouTube people sort of saying hello. Come and say hello. It's lovely to meet you all. And so this is our Seven of Swords. It's got quite a bright sort of scene in this particular card. This is the Radiant Rider-Waite deck that I've chosen on the PDF that I'm using here for the workshop. It's bright, it's lovely. Hi, Jano, how are you doing today? Workshop here. Hi! Lovely, you came along last night. Thank you so much from YouTube saying hello. It's lovely of you. So if you want a copy of the free similar PDF version, which is in white, I've done mine in purple, so I don't look a little bit washed out here on camera. A little bit of colour never hurts, but yours will be a white copy and very similar, the keywords. You can have that for free if you write to me at hello@tarotwithanemarie.com. Okay, I've got another email address that I'll be giving out in a couple of weeks when I get the courses on, and that is again, it's hello@tarotcourses.online. I'll be putting that banner up in a little bit so that you can see. Facebook user, we are not doing tarot readings. This is a tarot workshop. You are more than welcome to stay if you are interested in any way in learning what the cards actually mean. Thank you for the reading yesterday. You appreciate it. It was the first reading yesterday. Some of it was cut off from the replay, but that's okay. Thank you for doing the workshop. Oh, I'm sorry. I think it buffered. The internet. Oh, bless you, Facebook user. Sorry about that. Fridays at 5 p.m. London time is when I do free readings, and on Saturdays I teach you all about the tarot in a very simple way where we look at key points. But please do feel that you can stay if you would like to learn something or make a contribution or ask a question about the cards and the meanings and the feelings of what they are all about. I'm going to move on to the next card because I am nervous about the weather. I wish I could actually turn my camera around and show you. As I look outside the window, it's just cloud because I'm high up here in the mountains and we are in the clouds today, but it's torrential. Okay, so right, let's move on to the next one. Now we're going in order. It's all about the swords. Okay, Two of Cups is nice. Yes, lovely card. But we are sticking to our schedule of how to go through the cards. And here we have the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is all about restrictions, and it's restrictions of the mind. You've got it now. Facebook user, if you are interested in learning, just go onto my Facebook page and you will see the collection, or YouTube, where they're all in playlists neatly organised for you to follow along from the very beginning of this course. It's just a free workshop, and I do teach tarot and helps people get started by joining a workshop that's informal like this while they make their minds up which direction they're going in. And I have taught the tarot as a professional to students for the last 20 years, and I've been reading tarot for 30. And I use a very simple but effective method. And I'm sharing sort of some of the meanings on these workshops with you, but if you want to go into more detail, you can get the courses on my website. Beg your pardon. It's a learning management system. Kavya Deepak. Hello, how are you? Thank you for my time. Oh, that's so nice of you. I, in my haste of getting on to try and dodge the internet, my husband came up and said, well, I thought it started, and I said there was no internet. So I really am dashing against the weather and whether the internet gets it. We get hit by lightning quite a bit here in this place that I live in. And oh, it's interesting. Thank you so much. Yes, I love it. You know, I was lucky enough to go to tarot school. I had all my books, of course, and all my various bits and pieces. But I went to tarot school for 3-4 years, where I was with a group of 10 with a teacher. We went from beginners into intermediate, into advanced, into reading for the public, into psychic development. We did everything and anything. And it was just the 10 of us all the time. We just carried on and on and on and on. And then I made a career out of it. So that doesn't exist anymore. And I'm aware how difficult it is to actually reach, to get the tools that you need in order to actually progress and learn. So by doing a workshop, I did tarot tuition about 1.5 years ago on my Facebook. You can go look at that one. And I've just done a slightly different version because there's so many meanings to the cards. My wish is to just give you simplicity and some key points, and just help you along your way and help you figure out where you want to go next. Okay, so is there a school for 3 years to learn? Mine was, but no longer exists. That was 30 years ago. There is a school now. I have a school on a learning management system to learn the tarot, yes, and it is called tarotcourses.online. Go and have a look. It's not expensive. I've just done it in little bundles for you, but it's a very in-depth course like I did. Way back then, it was £200 for 10 weeks, so it's £20 a week. Even that's 30 years ago. Some of them at the moment are running out at like £2,500. There's all sorts of things that you can learn. But this method that my lovely teacher shared with us, I have never seen anything like it. And I just continue to actually go down that path and work with it and expand on it and kind of put my own signature on it, because I developed it more and more and more from what she was saying. And it really works. And I've been a professional reader now for a long time, working full-time, not part-time, and in a situation of reading for people 6 to 8 hours a day, constant calls. So, you know, I've made a living out of it, and it's allowed me to work remotely and have my freedom and be with my family and set my own hours and blah, blah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So let's get back to the Eight of Swords. Restrictions of the mind. So if we look at our character and our figure in the cards, we can see that she is all bandaged up. Her arms are bound, and she has a blindfold over her eyes, and she has swords behind her. And then we see the water, which implies that if she steps forwards, she could tread into that water, and we don't know how deep it is, and we don't know if it's swampy. It looks very blue, so it could be a good thing, might not be, we don't know. So the land that we see there, is that mud, is that actual earth? We don't know. And in the background, we see a scene of the hills and what looks like a building or some dwelling there. The mountains behind represent the challenges. The swords are about the thinking and the mental process and our communication. So when we see the Eight of Swords, it's not anything that's really tangible. It's much more to do with the fact that it is about how we are thinking or how we are communicating with someone else or ourselves, okay? And the Eight of Swords is showing us that we are restricted, but that restriction is that of ourself. Now, there is a school of thought, those of you that know about the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords shows a woman with a blindfold on with two swords crossed over her like that. And the Eight of Swords is an extension of not dealing with matters when they were more minor at the Two of Swords. So Two of Swords and the Eight of Swords are actually kind of connected. Two of Swords is, gosh, you need to really make a decision. You need to take the blindfold off and see things and make a decision this way or that. The Eight of Swords is where that did not happen, and the matter has become more serious, and you're now feeling terribly restricted and don't know what to do in your mind or in your communication. Okay, so it's about dealing with matters earlier that we didn't do. We're all guilty of doing it. Nobody's lecturing anyone, but this is kind of how it can end up. But if we look at this card, if that lady was clever enough to actually step back very carefully, she could take a step towards one of those swords and very carefully cut away the bindings that restrict her. So she can do something about it. It's maybe she doesn't see that because she's blindfolded. And you see, if she was careful enough to actually have a strategy or a plan, she is able to get out of this by using that sword to cut away the binds, to then to be able to release her hands, to take off the actual blindfold, to navigate out of maybe that water or into it, to know what it means. And water, by the way, represents emotions. The ground that we see is telling her that she is grounded. And the building in the background signifies that there is a place to go. But the mountains and the hills are really kind of suggesting that there is difficulties and challenges ahead. Yeah, if you've got a question, Kavya, please do. I'll continue while you type, and we'll get to it. So there is the need to recognize your situation and take action, okay? This is somebody that's not seeing things clearly. This is somebody that's feeling trapped, mentally trapped. It's not actually physical. What I mean by that is that person has not been held hostage or not being restricted. The restrictions are of their own thinking and their own conversations with themselves or someone else. That's what it's about. Feeling controlled by circumstances, the need to recognize the situation and take action, but probably feeling that they don't know what to do, so they're doing nothing. There's a refusal or an inability to see that freedom is possible, like I explained about cutting away the binds, okay? Tarot readings are to be taken seriously, Kavya. Kavya is typed, are tarot readings to be taken seriously, or is it just interpretation? The tarot is a tool that connects us to the divine, to our source, to God, to the universe, whatever you want to call it, okay? And it's tapping in to having a conversation with that source, our God, our world, our universe, and being able to actually hear the answers reflected back at us. People say, is it about predicting the future? Yes, it can be. And it also can be about navigating your destiny, your fate, or what's going on around you. You have got the capacity, with the knowledge that the tarot shows you, to be able to figure it out and navigate a different path so that you get a better outcome, or that you don't waste time hanging around in the wrong place when you were really on your way to somewhere else. You were drawn to it at one point in time without prior exposure. Good. Well, tarot is a wonderful tool, and if you can actually, some people read intuitively, and yes, of course, intuition comes into it, but I think we all need to actually have basic meanings of the cards to actually feel that we can then embark upon our intuition. And if somebody actually says to you, just look at the picture, what do you see, what do you feel, straight away you wouldn't go, I feel really happy looking at that. You'd actually, oh gosh, looks a bit awkward. But when you look a bit deeper, blue sky, that's not bad. Okay, the water is blue, that's not bad. She can actually get out of that. We can see that with the swords. Okay, it could be harmful, but it's only a gentle step back. If she's that restricted, she is careful, and she chooses to want to find a solution, she will think about it and she'll use her intelligence. Okay, you had bought one set of cards. Lovely. I'm going to be showing you some cards in a little while. I'm going to try and finish, as I say, because that weather looks terrible. I don't want to lose you all. So this card can point to more restrictions in the mind, or to someone who's been a collaborator of their own victimization. So what that means is you're probably responsible for thinking the way that you are. It's not nice. And when we look at the tarot, what I'll teach you on my courses, if you go into my learning management system, I show you how to put the pieces of the puzzle together and how you can know which one of these it actually is, by using the method that I use. It simplifies everything. You go, I know it's definitely that. Number one, you'll know it because of the way in which I sort of tell you to put it together, put one piece next to the next piece. You don't forget you've got 78 cards in tarot. You've only got 26 letters in the alphabet. Think about that. Yeah? Look at how much more information you can actually gain from the tarot than you can from the basic alphabet. If you want to look at it like that, you can. But it's like, it could be so many things. That's where people get lost. That's what I'm here for. And that's what my courses are there for. I can't teach you that on this platform. There just isn't time, and I couldn't go working with you in the way that I work because of time restraints and all sorts of things. And also, I need to make a living, and it's took me 2 years to put my course together. They're big courses, but they are all done in little bundles so that you can learn whichever way around you want to. But please don't try and do the advanced before you've actually got some basic knowledge of the cards, otherwise you will definitely not manage it. Hi, Da. Hi. You're welcome. Thank you for coming in. So this is a card of confinement and constraints and feeling mentally bound or imprisoned and feeling stuck in a rut or in a situation. You see? But there is a way around it. There is always a solution. It's whether or not you choose to actually want to, and that's got to come from your logic. And again, the swords are all about our intellect, how the mind is working, and whether or not we are kind of going, oh, no, I can't, couldn't possibly. Okay? Right, I'm going to play an advert just to remind you all, please do like, share, and subscribe. I'm sure there are people that would love to actually learn a little bit in a workshop for free like this, and to go on to learn more, whichever place they choose to. So I'm going to remind you, playing this advert, and then I'm going to show you some cards, okay? And I'm back, and there you go, just like magic. I've got a desk with cards. So, what do I have for you today? Okay. Can somebody just let me know if you can all hear me? I think my microphone's okay. It's just that when I play something, it can actually change the sound. Okay. Dara asks, is this interpretation? Yes and no. It's meanings, okay? And they are keyword meanings for the cards that in my life's work, in my studies, in the hundreds of books and the 3 to 4 year course that I did, in my 30 years as a tarot reader, as a professional, with lots of books and workshops and all sorts of different things. Yeah, all okay, that's good. Thanks, Tony. All those things, it is meanings, okay? And then there are interpretations, and then there is intuition, and then, of course, move that box out of the way, and then the feelings, okay, which could be part of your intuition, okay. So it's getting you started just on this sort of particular platform to help you go on your way and decide what you want to do, okay. So bear with me 1 second. I'm going to try and zoom that in just a weeny bit more. Okay. So there we go. This is the Seven of Swords. It comes from this deck, which is the Wizard's Tarot, and that's by Corinne Kenner. Okay, lovely sort of deck. I've had this for simply years. Yeah, beautiful. Lovely images. Very sort of would remind you of sort of fairy tale sort of type images and mystical. That rain's absolutely lashing, so I'm going to get a move on, okay? So that's Corinne Kenner, okay? And then we've got this one here. Now, this is an interesting deck. This is the Druid Craft Seven of Swords. And then I've got the Muse, okay? Put that there. Okay, and the Muse is a bit more contemporary, and the Seven of Swords is called the Seven of Voices in the Muse deck. Okay, so I like to show you different decks so that you can choose something that you are drawn to, or that you actually find beautiful, or that you connect with. Okay, so that's the Wizard's Tarot is this one. The Druid Craft Tarot is this one, and this one is the Muse. So the Seven of Swords in Corinne Kenner's Wizard Tarot, we see our character again, a man looking as if, you know, he's got a cloak and daggers, really, isn't it? But the cloak is significant of hiding something, concealing something. The Two of Swords left behind. There we got the building in the background once again. Hi, Canley, let me know, please. How do you love Nidden? Sorry, it's not about having readings. This is a lesson. Sorry, Nada. These. Da, I'm sorry. I'm going to say very much again to you like Nada. It's not about readings. Fridays at 5 o'clock for that. And if you see online there, you can see I've put Improve Your Tarot Skills with tarotcourses.online. That's where you can find the proper courses. What are they? They are huge, in-depth videos on just the swords, which is over an hour on real detail. The personalities, the characteristics, the negative aspects, the positive aspects, the basic meanings, the symbology, all in there. Thanks, Nada. You're welcome to stay while I go through the cards and teach if you want to, but if you're a little bit sort of like you're not interested, you'd rather have a reading, pop in on Friday at 5, okay? Oh, hi, Israel Robertson, 42. You're on Twitch. You like them. Okay, are you talking Zed Robertson, 42. Are you talking about Corinne Kenner's, or do you like them all? They are all lovely. I have so many decks, and I thought, gosh, why don't I share with you? You know, I've made some bad choices too. Gosh, Hold on a second, something's popped on my screen. I don't want that to happen. It stops me having a look at what I'm doing. Okay, it's just a notification and coming through. So this is the Seven of Swords. Don't know if you can hear that, folks, but I can tell you it is just grey outside. Grey. We'll promise snow. It looks like the snow, but that's just really heavy rain. And my studio is in it's in the roof. It's the third floor of my villa, so I can really hear it lashing. Okay, hope it's not interrupting. So Seven of Swords, our figures kind of sneaking away. Okay, and then we've got the building in the background, which suggests, that there is safety. Okay, we've got the water there again, and in this particular deck, again, beautiful images. A real sort of feeling of well, you can almost feel it, can't you? It's much more like a photograph. No, it's not, but you get my drift, okay? Rather than this, which is a little bit cartoony. But I love this deck, absolutely love this deck. I've worked with this incredibly, and that's the Druid's Tarot deck. So, water represents motion, okay? And here, our character is looking as if, he's got his head in his hand and he's writing, and he looks as if, it's quite stressful. Trying to figure it out, trying to work it out. So you see, here you go, gosh, really sneaky, real dark character, but you know what? There's plenty going on in the city behind him. And this one, it feels like, gosh, is he in a beautiful tower and it's gorgeous out there, but he's having to work it out? Or is it that he's locked in that place and trying to figure out how to escape? Depends how you look at it. And that's your intuition, okay? Let's just check. We've still got a lot of you watching, which is lovely. All of them are lovely. You have a collection of tarot cards, but I don't have those. Would love to add them. Okay, Zed Robertson, just to recap for you, that's The Wizards Tarot by Corinne Kenner. Do come in from Twitch on Saturdays when I'm teaching, or watch the catch-up, and you'll see lots of different decks. I just, after the end of teaching, I've just gone through a 7 and the 8 of Swords. And there's the Druidcraft, which is this one. They are a lot bigger, by the way, but I cut mine out because I've got small hands and I just could not deal with shuffling properly, which, shuffling is very important to me. And then we've got the Muse, which is the 7 of Voices. So I'm going to come to that one. So, 7 of Voices, it's like, so much going on here, and it's represented by the fox. Now, is that because that's sneaky, sly, cute? Depends which way you look at it. There is the bridge always represents the fact that there is a way forwards, okay, a solution. There's an opening, and the door is open, and it looks like we're going somewhere brighter. This almost looks a bit like, the Sphinx in the pyramids, doesn't it? And then you've got that reflection. So you've got that colour, and then you've got that kind of, that black and white scenario there. And then you've got the clouds, and clouds always represent the fact that there's no clarity. Okay, bigger cards are hard to shuffle. I always enjoy brushing up on your tarot skills. Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you so much for saying that. I love that you're enjoying it. As in, well, I've studied and studied, and it's been my hobby, and it's been my profession, and it's my passion. It's all I ever do. There you go. If you want to know any more, please do go and look at my new learning management system platform, which is my website, which is called tarotcourses.online. There you can find all sorts of treats and bundles. I'm still loading them on, as I explained, but there are workbooks that you can buy. There are courses that you can buy on just the swords, just the cups, just the pentacles. Haven't got cups, wands and pentacles and the court cards on yet. They are loaded up, but I need to do the copyright and the images for the actual website. Otherwise it doesn't look good. Oh, thank you very much, said Robertson. Thank you. You are a star. 3 weeks ago, I managed to get it where I wanted it to go. It's been 2 years of constant work, 16 hours a day, getting it going. So you don't know how much I appreciate that. Thank you. Right. So, and do join us, perhaps go and subscribe on YouTube, and then press the bell so you're notified when I do a video, and I jump on and you'll catch me. I do free readings on Fridays, so that's also, you'll sort of see how I read for others, even though it's only a snapshot. I normally put 44 cards out for a proper reading. When I say proper reading, somebody is paying for a reading and I've got the time to give them. But on these platforms, I can give you pairs and answer questions through pairs, which people love. Thank you. So the Eight of Swords in our Wizard Tarot. Look, there we go again. There's our character and our figure surrounded by swords. And it looks, first impression is, oh gosh. In actual fact, the sword's going to be the thing that actually cuts her away from the trouble. Okay? Swords represent the mind and the thinking and how we communicate. So it's only about that. It's not something that is happening. It's not an action card. It's not an emotional card. And it's not something, it's a material card, like the earthy cards, which are the pentacles. Totally different, okay? And Eight of Swords here in the Druidcraft Tarot deck. Again, Our Lady is exactly the same, just different scene, much more sort of cartoony, much more sort of, the Druid. But it's a beautiful deck, and the swords in this case don't actually really complement how beautiful that deck actually is. Just for a moment, sorry, reaching across like that. Okay, just want to show you how it was. I've got a spare. There, that was the size. Can you see what I mean? I cut it down. Not very well. I'm creative, but not with scissors. Not a hairdresser, and certainly not somebody that can do those kind of things. But, shuffling those, can you see? So I used another card. So you might be able to get borderless ones, but the board was just absolutely huge. So just to share that with you. So that's a really nice deck. And when I read, I use lots and lots. They are big, aren't they? When I read, and I do the Friday sort of tarot here on YouTube and Facebook and Restream and Twitch and LinkedIn. I'm multi-stream to all so that we try not to miss anybody out and reach as many as possible, but I can't do it without your help. So if you can share and you can subscribe, that really does help me considerably, and liking, of course, does help people find us. Just it's all about sharing, okay? And here we've got the Eight of Voices, which is by the Muse deck. Again, voices, again, it's reminding us it's communication of the mind. And here we've just got an image that kind of looks as if this lady's got a mask on in this case. But again, that all of that energy is being directed through her head, right through her body. So maybe, the head's affecting the fact that she's feeling stationary. So it's whatever appeals to you as a reader. Sometimes it's just because you like them. Sometimes it's like, gosh, I can't really read with that. So on my courses, I use a Rider-Waite based deck, and for the courses, I chose a Radiant Rider-Waite deck just because it was very bright and very clear. It's the symbology, and the symbology will help you see things. When I would talk, I find it incredibly difficult to actually run a course on this one, okay? Simply because there's not as much symbology. But there's nothing wrong with that. I absolutely adore it, and I paid a lot of money for it because I liked it. It's like, gosh, I can see different things in that. And, it stretches me as a reader with my intuition and my connection. and you will always see something different in the cards, even if you've been reading for years like me. And I learn from you guys, certain things that people say, and you just go, gosh, thanks so much. That's brilliant. Why? Because you need to be open and you need to keep seeing it as in how much you can travel and learn and study the tarot. But I've done it a long time and I read with a system that is absolutely fantastic. Okay, so please do join me next week on Saturday when we'll be doing some more tarot workshop. Until then, my name is Anne-Marie. For those of you that don't know me, I may come up as Puzzly on a platform of Twitch, but it's Tarot with Anne-Marie. If you want to find me, tarotwithanne-marie.com. If you want a copy of the actual worksheets that I showed in the beginning of our lesson, just write to me, and that is hello@tarotwithanne-marie.com, or you can write to me at hello@tarotcourses.online. I'll get it either way. I'm quite happy to send you your free white version copy of the ones that I use in this tarot workshop here on these social media platforms. But do check out the site, go and have a look. And also on tarotcourses.online, I am also providing personal readings if you're interested. All right, my darlings, thank you so much. The weather was good to us and it didn't cut out, so thank goodness. Robertson, look at this. What a lovely thing. Thank you so much. I'm going to add, look what I can do. Thank you so much. Enjoyed this. I will check you out next time and also subscribe to your channel. You see, we can bring you on. And when you come on and ask a question on Friday nights, if you want to, it's not just about learning. I try and do both. Those are things that I am comfortable with sharing on these platforms. We can pop it up there and actually say, hey, there's your question. And these are the cards for this person so that everyone can follow along. It's not boring while people wait for their turn. Okay? So, thank you. And thank you for your lovely questions. Sorry when it's confusing that I do both and people want readings, and don't mean to be unkind and say, hey, I'm not doing that. It's just that, people are wanting to learn and they are giving me their time, and we've scheduled to do a workshop. So, until next time, I'll see you Friday for free readings and Saturday for tarot workshop. Until then, have a great week, everybody. Take care of yourself and each other. From me, Anne-Marie, I'll see you then. Bye-bye.